Got himself a worm.
Spring is coming really, really fast. I think we're like 10 days away or so right now from the first day of spring. So we want to go ahead and get this place marked out exactly how we want it to be, and then we'll start tilling this evening. Now back behind me here is where the garden's gonna go. Back here where Pepper is, she's looking over it. Since we moved out here, we're on the 16 acres. Before we were on like maybe a tenth of an acre in the middle of town. So we still had a little garden though. Grew what we could, but that was our big thing about coming out here, is being able to grow our own food and as much of it as we possibly could. And this right here is going to be a huge area for the garden. So we chose this spot out of the whole acreage for several reasons. One of them being we can see right out of that small, let's see, square window right there is our kitchen window, and so we can just look out of the kitchen window and be able to see back here to the garden area, be able to see if there are deer eating all of our stuff, all of that kind of stuff. Boys are up there trying to figure out the garden hose. Anyway, it's also really flat. I mean, it starts to contour once you get farther back, a little uphill there, but there's a lot of flat area right here where it looks like the water will run off from what we've seen and come down this way towards the driveway. But also even like pulling up to the house on the driveway, it's like on the opposite side in front of me now is where the garden is. So just being able to pull up and see in that big garden is something that I've had on my mind for a long time. And it's just a pretty area. We've got these trees back here that originally I was going to try to knock down. I was going to cut them, and the more I thought about it, there's plenty of room in between, so I don't think I need to do that because there's going to have plenty of sun. The sun rises over here, sets over there, and so it'll have a lot of sun all day long, and the trees will be good for shade later in the evening. So we think it's a really good spot. So this is the next morning. Got everything tilled up really nice. Still got to get all these roots and things that have been left in there. A lot of them, I mean, they've been chopped up. It's just grabbing them and getting them out of the area. So got to clean some of this up. I went ahead and put the big garden bed, raised bed in. Still got to level it and put some stuff around it. But that's going to be for the wildflowers. I do that for the pollinators, for the bees and the butterflies and all of that. And I mean, we enjoy just watching them anyway. But I've got a whole plan for how I want to lay everything out, and I'll probably show you that here in just a second on paper, and it'll make a lot more sense what you're looking at here. But we've got the pollinator bed right there. On each side of it, we're going to do a fruit tree, and then we're going to have, I've got 4 beds, 4 other raised beds. We're going to do one this way, one that way, one next to it, one next to it on this end, and these 2 are going to be long ways just like that one, and they're going to have, each of them are going to have arch trellises on them. We'll put a bench up under it so we can just spend some time out here. And then on this side of this last garden bed, on each one of these sides, we'll do another fruit tree. So we'll either do 2 peaches, 2 apples, or 2 apples, 2 peaches, something like that. And then further down here, these are going to be the rows. So as many as I can get. On paper, I've put in 4, but I believe I can get more than that in here, but we're just going to hill that up heal the compost up this year into rows that meet down here and still give us walk room here. But however many rows, 4 or 5 rows, and that's where our things like broccoli, tomatoes, I'm trying to think, potatoes, peppers, all of that stuff will grow in mounds or in rows down through here. Corn, things like that. That's the plan as of right now, is how I want to set all this up. I'm not sure if I'm going to fence all this or not. Our neighbor said he doesn't fence his. And really, with the deer, I mean, they're going to, if I put up a 4-foot fence, it's not going to stop them anyway. It may stop the rabbits and, you know, possums and raccoons, things like that. But that's probably about it. All right, we're starting to get it set up now. Got all of these raised garden beds, which these are from the old house, the garden from last year and the year before. They are not as heavy duty as that one over there with the 2x. These are just cedar fence pickets. You can see I've got to do some work on some of these. I think there's 2 of them that need a little work, but kind of gives you a look though of the arch trellis. On this side, I've got to get another hog panel to be able to put one on the other side, but both of those will be, well, they'll be spread out because this is at an angle, but there'll be stakes that hold it up better, so it'll have more of an arch and less of a point. But anyway, both of them will look the same, and there'll be a nice little bench under each one of them there, and then right in between of all of that will be the fruit bushes, blueberry, blackberry, and raspberry. And on the trellises, I do butternut squash is what I have been doing, because I've only had one. This one, now we'll have 2, but we've only had one, and it's been butternut squash. So one of them will be that, and then the other will be, we've talked about doing loofahs, and we've talked about doing the mini pumpkins in the fall on an arch trellis. So we think that will look pretty cool to have the little white pumpkins or little orange pumpkins, or maybe a mixture, hanging down over that. Be pretty cool. But we basically got it set up. I need to fix some of these beds. I need another hog panel to make that over there, and then I'll be ready to start filling these bottoms up with some dead sticks and things. And then we'll be going to get a huge truck bed load of compost. So we got to fill up all these beds, and then we've got to make our rows. So I need to do that too, I guess. I need to stake the rows off, see how many rows I can get out of it from that end, and see how long it is from that end all the way to somewhere around here or so, just so we have a little walkway in between. I plan on all those being rows of corn and all kinds of stuff. So that's a look of it so far.
Go to the dirt, please.
You got it. So we've got the beds full with dead brush in each one of them. We're going to put this horse manure, this compost, over top of that, and all that'll break down over it. Hey, grab you a handful of that stuff and put it up to your mouth.
No. Who knew working with horse poop could be this much fun? What? I like playing with their poop. Got himself a worm.
Look at you.
Oh, the horse maneuver. However you say
Oh.
that. It got him. Was it maneuver?
Something like that. So we got a lot of this done for it to be as hot as it is. It's like 72 or 3 or something like that. And no clouds. I mean, there's just barely any clouds at all. So it's pretty hot. So they were troopers to help me with this much. Got all the dead wood in. We've got this bed filled up. Just needs to be leveled with the rake. This one's filled up. Just needs to be leveled. Same with this one. And we've got this one ready to go. And we're finally able to open up that back tailgate too. That was giving us a hard time. But it's open, so we need to fill this one. Now I need to figure out my rows, how many rows I want to do here. And then we can dump the rest of this into those rows. Now tomorrow, that's Pepper's crate where I took her with me to get this compost. But tomorrow is going to be the same weather as far as about 70, 71 degrees. But it's going to be super cloudy. So we're going to save the rest of this for tomorrow. Well, we have had a slight change of plans. Welcome to Tennessee weather. Well, I wouldn't call it warm, but the snow has melted. Now it's starting to rain, but I'm out here right now trying to get these big roots that are still in the ground here in the garden area, get all those pulled up so that we have a good area to go ahead and unload the rest of that compost. We've got all the beds filled now. Now it's time to work on our rows, or as much as we can anyway. There's the last one I just pulled up. And that compared to my shoe, stuff goes way down in there farther than I realized. But we're just popping them up, pulling them out. And look at that thing. All that was showing is like this much. And all of this was under the ground. Crazy. The last one of today. Definitely the biggest. Look at that. Ridiculous. That's a whole tree. I do know we're going out of town for a couple days to see family, so I wanted to get that out of my truck, be able to wash the back of my truck out before we left. And whenever we come back, we'll have some pretty days, and we can try to maybe bucket that into rows and just see how much we can get. Worst case scenario, I could always reach back out to them and see if they'd be willing to give me any more of that compost, or I mean, a lot of options. So anyway, we'll call that done, go wash out the truck, and I'll be back here in a few days after we get back to figure all this out. So I've got a little bit of a debate going on. I don't know whether I want to do this into rows still. That was the original plan, was to make rows there, 4 or 5 rows. I'm starting to think now that that would be a little bit of a limiting situation. What I could do instead is spread out the rest of this compost and over the whole thing and just till it in, and then I'd be able to plant in all of that space instead of just in these dedicated rows and having walk space and all that. I don't know yet. I still haven't decided. I'm kind of doing this as I go, but I just want to throw that in because if I do end up doing that, that goes against everything I've said so far. So I want you guys to know, if I do that, why. blooms. We've got our first apple tree in there. First peach tree over here. We're gonna cross plant them. So Elijah's working over there on that side of the garden for the other peach tree, and then the apple tree will be on this side. Just putting some of this compost in the bottom of the holes just to help with it being more loose soil. Some of the stuff, I think we're still in the topsoil here, but I've got a lot of clay here, so that's good to have there. But you want to, when you plant these, you want to be as deep as the root ball, so about 18 inches, 12 to 18 inches, and then the hole needs to be double the size of the root ball. So that just helps with good drainage. Also helps to be putting some of this looser soil and some of this compost on around it. It is a scorcher today. I am finishing up tilling up this garden, so we're getting ready to plant. As you can see, it looks fantastic. The soil's really good soil, and of course we mixed in that horse manure, compost, all in here too. This stuff is super soft now. We need a good rain on it, but that kind of show you what we got. But we're getting ready to plant some different things, some cool things this year. Some things for the first time that we've never done before. So we're excited about that, and got a little update on our butternut squash. Let me turn you around and show you. Check that guy out. Now these others, as far as I know, they haven't come up yet. That's pretty big, and there's one on the other side too. So we've only got 2 that are showing. One right there, one right there. So we may replant a couple of those, because I know True is pretty excited about that. But I've also got blueberry bush from the old house. Brought it over here, got it planted, and then over here from our old house, I've got our golden raspberry bush. It's got some new leaves on it. I've also got all these windows. This is pretty special. All of these windows are from our old house. We just changed out and put new replacement windows in, and so we wanted to bring a piece of the old house to the new house. So I'm going to have a greenhouse project going on here pretty soon. This one, the storm window, the only storm window that I kept was this one, because it has, this is upside down, but it's got this temperature gauge on it, and this was in our kitchen window. This was our kitchen window at the old house, so that's pretty special. We were there for 15 years, so we kind of got used to that a little bit. But it's coming together. We've got it all tilled up, ready to go. Some of the butternut squash are coming up. We haven't put anything in these beds yet. I don't know if we're gonna do peas or cucumbers. I don't know. I'm not sure what we'll do on that one. We may even just wait till the fall. And we talked about doing mini pumpkins over there, because that would look pretty cool hanging down from there. But anyway, it's coming together. We've got our fruit trees in. We've got our blueberry bush. We've got our raspberry bush. Butternut squash are in. And now we've got this big area back in here that is ready to plant in. Next couple things that are going to be happening will be pretty cool. I've got to get over here on this side that water tank I brought from the old house, rainwater catch tank. I'm going to build a platform for it, but I've got to have something. I don't know if it's going to be the greenhouse, or maybe a chicken coop, or maybe a rabbit pen, something. Got to build some kind of a structure that can be used, and then we can get rain off of the roof of it, and then we can water everything here with the rainwater right here. So that'll be pretty cool. We also got some plans for a couple new farm animals here in about 6 weeks or so. It's not too far. Probably by the time we do the next video, I'll at least be building them a shelter. That's all I'll say. Anyway, so maybe that'll be the next video. I don't know. It's either going to be us planting, maybe a mixture of us planting and getting some new farm animals. We'll see. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.